Good morning. Two words: perfection versus process. Which one is heavier? Which one is more important? Can one do without the other? The way I've seen it, they both have a very unique functioning in our way of life, in our way of progress. While we keep hearing this word, strive for perfection, become a master of something, don't become a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. While all that is very good, yes, we must become a master, because once you become a master, things become easier. Your work, whatever you're doing, whether it's anything at home or whether it's at work, it becomes a smooth process. But then the kind of effort and time and commitment that goes into mastering something is quite a bit, and it differs from person to person. But then there is one problem which a lot of us tend to overlook and forget, and that is process. Now, I'm not talking about standard operating procedures or following a process towards an end result. I am talking about process, the journey. Yes, the journey. When we take on an activity, when we take on a task, whether it's skill-based or people-based or self-based, whatever it is, when you are trying to build and grow and improve, we tend to put a kind of a destination in front, and we are focused on that destination. We have to reach that destination. Maybe you'll put a timeline to it, and then go gung-ho into that activity. In the bargaining, completely overlooking the process. The journey is equally important, if not more. Now, why do I say this? I'll give you an example. I had a lot of friends in school, schoolmates, who later became friends, and some of them remained schoolmates. They had an amazing way of churning out some excellent results. Always in their 90s. They would barely study, and they would just do one reading and they'd get it. And there was me, who would slog like a donkey, take time over every subject, and I would be average, if not a little more than average. But then I noticed something else. In some of the topic, if not most of the topics, irrespective of the subject, my recall memory was far greater than those who would churn out great numbers. Till this day, I would remember, and I can remember, what I studied in geography. I still remember how to open apart a table fan or a ceiling fan and put it together. I remember that whole thing. Give it a thought. Why would one remember something which you learned way back in school, and then in the process of your college and in your work where you're trained on certain things, you still remember certain things? As far as my experience and my understanding, it is the learning that I was attracted to. It wasn't the mugging that I was attracted to. While I wanted to be perfect in what I do, it's like a painter who does an extremely good job when he's giving the finishing touches to his painting, whether it's on canvas or whether it's on the wall. But what does he feel? What do you feel when you're working with that perfection in mind? It can be something as simple as making sure your table is in perfect order, your writing table or your dining table. Everything put in the right way, at the right angle. Each thing having a specific meaning and value to that action. It's a great feeling, no doubt, when you achieve it. But are you gaining anything with which you can sit back, close your eyes and smile about it? Which takes you through the rough and tough situations of life. That's what process or the journey does to you. You can lean back on that learning and come back into the current activity, which is tough, which is something which you are not very well prepared for, and without getting frustrated and upset, you complete that activity. I remember in school, my teacher as well as my father used to tell me, while winning is something, yes, it's important, but the ability to lose is equally important. The journey towards winning and the journey towards losing, both are equally important, because both give you learning, and that learning is priceless for an individual's life. So give it a thought, friends. Perfection versus process. Are they two separate things for you? Or you too think like I do, where both of them go together in our development and growth? Give it a thought.